Well, it has finally happened. After 8 months of being online only and almost 11 months of searching for a new space, we have found one. In the coming weeks, Sacrament will begin moving to Brush Hill Cumberland Presbyterian Church at 3705 Brush Hill Road in East Nashville. Let me tell you how this happened. As we were searching, I just always felt in my heart that the best arrangement for our congregation at this stage of our life would be to find a way to share space with another congregation. I knew and know that many churches have auxiliary spaces that could be used on Sundays concurrently with that church's Sunday services. But with all that was happening surrounding COVID-19, it was understandably tough for us to find any church or really any place ready to rent to another congregation. Our building committee has been awesome through this whole thing, and we searched and we searched. And in the summer, I remembered an acquaintance, now friend of mine, Pastor Paul Tucker. He had been the youth pastor at Brush Hill and was recently installed as the church's senior pastor. Their church has a lot of great history in East Nashville. They are an older congregation. We are a younger congregation. Both churches have similar hearts, even as we have very different worship expressions. So as we started this conversation about sharing space, both Paul and I started to get really excited about the potential here. We feel like this could be a match made in heaven. I've already had the opportunity now to address the people of Brush Hill Church, and they could not be more welcoming and hospitable. Additionally, I want to tell you, I'm excited about getting back to East Nashville, where our church spent the first 5 years of our existence. Ashley and I lived in East Nashville for 6 years, and this neighborhood is a great place for us as a church to put down roots. So let me tell you some of the basics first, and then I'll tell you a bit of how and when we are planning to regather safely. So we will be meeting in the church's fellowship hall, which has its own entrance and access to storage. We will be moving our service time to 10:30 a.m. so that we will meet slightly later than Brush Hill's Sunday service. For a large percentage of those currently part of our congregation, your commute to church will not be much longer, if it is longer, than it was at our previous facility, as the new facility has great highway access. Now, what is this going to look like? Well, as you know, this has been a weird year for everyone, including for churches. Pastors have been struggling with when and how to meet. And we have two competing values here. Number one, we want to be safe. We want to be good neighbors, and we don't want to spread this virus. Amen? And then two, we do believe in the significance of in-person worship towards spiritual formation. The physical gathering of the church has always been considered a central part of the church's identity. Now, on the whole, our church has been very slow and careful in our approach to this virus. Our lack of facility has in some ways been a blessing, as we've not had a place to return to and therefore have not really had to make a decision as to when to return to public worship. Though, if we deemed it were fully appropriate for us, we would have figured out a temporary solution for regathering. The first thing that we have to accept when we talk about regathering is that church gatherings and public gatherings in general will not look like they did in early March for a long time. This pandemic is real, and we recognize that. I'm not sure if you've ever seen the old movie, What About Bob? It's a story of a guy with lots of neuroses who goes to therapy, and his therapist tells him that he needs to embrace baby steps. Life is a process. Take one baby step at a time. Now, Bob takes this very, very literally. So he takes baby steps to the elevator, baby steps out the door. Well, this is a time for baby steps. This is going to be a process, and we will get through it together. Also, I realize that some of you believe we should have been meeting months ago. Some of you think that now is too soon. I understand both of those perspectives, and I firmly believe that the church has the opportunity to practice unity here. So we're looking at 3 stages for reopening. Stage 1 begins next weekend. Next Saturday, October 24th, we're going to have a moving day, starting at 10 a.m. We're going to move our stuff from storage to Brush Hill. They have a nice storage space for us, and we're really looking forward to that. That Sunday, the 25th, we will worship online at our new time, 10:30. And then we will have outdoor communion at Brush Hill at 2 p.m. So next weekend, you'll have the opportunity to see the place. So that's stage one. Stage two begins on Sunday, November 1st, when our services will move from pre-recorded to fully live in the new facility. Now, at this point, you can still join us online as you have been, or you will have the opportunity to join us in person. Now, we will have some significant social distancing protocols, including an indoor mask requirement, temperature checks, socially distanced seating, and limited children's ministry. And I'm going to lay all of that out for you next Sunday on our service. And I realize that we may be asking some things of you that are not your favorite. I'm not asking you to do it for me, and I want you to know I have no political agenda. I'm asking you to do this for your neighbor. Also, I totally get that some of you are not ready to gather in person. Hear me, we respect that. We're committed to keeping our live stream at a good quality so that you can join us from home until you're ready. So we have stage one, we have stage two. Stage three will begin sometime next year as we watch what happens with the pandemic, and we hope to have a grand opening soon in our new facility. Okay, so this is a big deal. Our church has not met in person for 8 months. So in some ways, this may feel like a fresh start. Some of our congregants have moved away in 2020. Some new ones have joined. This is a little scary and also really exciting. So in this season, I want to encourage you to jump in, whether in person or online. If you're at a place in your life where you're ready to attend in person, I just ask that you join us consistently as we restart. Invite your friends. In many ways, we're starting something new together. And if you're joining us online, I encourage you to do so consistently. Share the feed, engage in the comments. You are just as much a part of our congregation. Finally, in-person services mean more expenses. We get to put a sign out front that's gonna stay there. Woohoo! We now start paying rent, and we're gonna be good tenants. So we wanna encourage you to give faithfully. You can do that online at sacramentchurch.com or find us on Venmo. This is a new day, an exciting day. I'll give you more details next week. I hope to see you Saturday at our moving day. I'll let you know exactly where to go for that on social media, and I'll follow up with you. And if you're interested in that, just reach out to me and I'll let you know where to go. Let's have a lot of us show up for that because many hands make light work. We want you to know that we're committed to your safety and we're committed to the Spirit's formation in your life. The church has never been closed. The church keeps on churching. God meets us where we are, and He's been with us this whole time. Grace and peace.